Hey everyone, welcome back to another dividend investing video. The year sure has flown by, right? I hope all of our American listeners had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. And as we enter the final month of the year, it is once again time to provide an update on our public Dividend Growth Income Portfolio. If this is your first time with us, this is a portfolio I've been contributing to for about 16 months every week to demonstrate one method of building up a portfolio that generates a growing stream of passive income. In today's video, we're going to go over the stocks I purchased this month, the dividends I received, and the companies that raised their dividends for us this month, and much more. November has been a great month for stocks, with the S&P 500 up over 10% in the last 30 days. And let's just get right into it. I'm Nick, and this is the Dividend Growth Income channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm not a financial advisor or guru. I'm just a regular guy who wants to share my love of dividend growth investing and building financial independence with passive income. If you could, please do me a favor, smash the like button and subscribe to keep up with future videos. This helps us out more than you can imagine with the algorithm, so we can bring you more quality dividend investing content. So the account is with Fidelity. That's the broker I'm using. It's my personal favorite as far as brokerages go. I find it pretty easy to use. And today we're sitting in an account value of $16,725.62. That's quite a jump from last month. There were 5 weeks worth of contributions added in November, and the markets did perform quite well. What I do is I add to this account every single Wednesday, no matter what the markets are doing, whether they're up or they're down. I buy from a selection of dividend growth stocks and ETFs. I've been building this up since September of 2022. So I'm just taking these small contributions every week. And you can see that's really starting to build up. I'm going to move over to my spreadsheet, which I've been working on. It helps display the progress of this portfolio to you guys here in YouTube land. Okay, so first, let's look at this dashboard page. Kind of sums everything up nicely. When we look at the last month, the account was down 2%, but now it's up over 3% for total performance. Now, in the time since creating this account, I've added $16,000 into the account exactly, and I'll show you how I track that in just a moment. And my cost basis here reflects a slight loss I took selling some Walgreens shares earlier in the year as well. It also includes the $256.51 in dividends that this account has generated since its creation. As every stock in this account is set to DRIP, that just means the dividends directly reinvest into the stock or ETF that paid them. Now, we have an unrealized gain of over $500 now. We also crossed $500 of forward annual income mark this past month. This portfolio is projected to generate approximately $540.67 in the next 12 months. And that would be assuming I don't add any more to these stocks, and none of them happen to raise their dividends, and I'm not continuing to drip these guys. This could be thought of as $45 on average every month. So look, this account in this just a little over a year that I've been building it up now has the ability to probably pay my gas utility bill every month if I needed it to. Obviously, I'm looking to cover more than just one of my utility bills. So here I've created some goals incrementally to show progress, with the ultimate goal for this particular account is to generate over $1,000 in dividends every month. And we're going to follow the progress all the way to that goal on this channel. That's going to be amazing. And we're going to get there. Now today, we're 4.51% of the way there, a long ways to go, but the path forward is clear and it's easy to see how we will get there. Okay, as mentioned, I add money into this account every single Wednesday. I've not missed a Wednesday since creating this account. And on this spreadsheet, I track in all the money that is brought in. So far, I've added $16,000 exactly. And as time has progressed, I've increased my weekly contribution amount. Since September, I've committed to adding $300 each week into this account. So for November, I've added $1,500. Here, I set a goal of adding $15,000 for the year. It was an ambitious goal. I'm going to fall just short of it. At the end of the year, it's going to be more like $14,250. Maybe I get an extra $1,500 in there. But I'm happy now with what we did for the first full year of this account, and I'll go more into this next month in a follow-up video where I'll kind of review the whole year. So let's go over what I purchased in November. I freaking love Wednesdays when I get to buy. I wake up and I place the orders, and I just go about my day. On Wednesday, November 1st, I bought $100 of the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, VYM, $100 of the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, SCHD, and $100 of McDonald's ticker MCD. I continued building that one up as I opened that position back in October as it dropped. And on Wednesday, November 8th, I split my $300 in 6 ways. Put $50 into VYM, 50 into SCHD, 50 into McDonald's, 50 into Chevron, ticker CVX, 50 into Aflac, ticker AFL, and 50 into Medtronic, ticker MDT. On Wednesday, November 15th, I purchased 3 stocks, $100 of Chevron, $100 of Vici Properties, ticker VICI, and $100 of Home Depot, ticker HD. Then on Wednesday, November 22nd, I purchased the following: $50 of SCHD, $50 of VYM, $50 of CVX, $50 of Lockheed Martin, ticker LMT, $50 of Cisco Systems, ticker CSCO, and $50 of Agri Realty, ticker ADC. Love those monthly dividends. Then finally, on Wednesday, November 29th, I purchased 6 stocks, $50 of Cisco, $50 of Aflac, $50 of McDonald's, then $50 of Main Street Capital, ticker MAIN, $50 of The Kroger Company, ticker KR, and $50 of Waste Management, ticker WM. So those are my purchases for the month of November, $1,500 of dividend stocks in all, and this added $57.32 of forward annual income to the account. Solid month. All right, let's move on to the dividends received in the month of November. Now, the February, May, August, November quarterly cycle continues to be my weakest. We did collect dividends from 5 companies. On October 1st, I received $3.86 from AT&T, ticker T. On November 14th, I received $2.58 from Agri Realty, ticker ADC. On November 15th, I received 2 payments, the first from Procter & Gamble, ticker PG, for $2.51. Then Kinder Morgan, ticker KMI, coming in at $5.76. And finally, Main Street Capital came through all reliable with $2.69. Each of these reinvested directly back into themselves. We are up a few bucks from August. Definitely a massive improvement over November of last year, when this account was just starting to collect its first dividend. Now let's look at the 4 companies in the month of November in my portfolio that announced dividend raises, helping bump up that forward income for me with no additional work for myself at all. On November 1st, Main Street Capital announced it was raising its dividend by 2.1%. This is the 3rd time they've increased this dividend payment in the last year. I'm very happy with this BDC. Then on November 2nd, I got 2 raises. The first was from Snap-on, ticker SNA, the 14th consecutive dividend raise, coming in at 15%. Double digits. Love to see it. The second was from Aflac, ticker AFL. They announced a stunning 19% raise for its first payment of 2024. This marked Aflac's 41st annual dividend hike. I continue to believe this is one of the more underrated companies, maybe the most underrated company in my portfolio. And finally, on November 8th, Automatic Data Processing, ticker ADP, announced a 12% raise. They're a leader in human resources technologies. This was their 49th consecutive dividend raise. So these companies are doing exactly what I want them to. This is exactly why I purchased them. Double-digit dividend raises, 3 of them in 1 month. So I'm very satisfied right now. Let's bring it back to the spreadsheet. I'm going to show you guys all the holdings now. You can see them. I have it sorted alphabetically, but I made this page so I can sort it in by any of these fields in either direction. One useful way to see this is by weight, from Z to A. That way we can see the heaviest weighted equities on top. So let's do that. My rule here, it's not a hard rule, but I try to keep the dividend ETFs between like 9 to 11% range. As far as individual stocks go, I prefer to not go higher than 5% allocation. But as you can see, as of today, my heaviest allocations are around 4%. So I'm doing quite well. My top 3 holdings, this has been the same since the inception of this account. It's my 3 ETFs. Invest in these for that instant diversification, sleep well at night sort of thing, you know? But right now, my heaviest positions are VYM, SCHD, and VOO. VOO taking up about 6% of the allocation. The S&P 500 index. This, and I keep saying this, it's my single favorite investment. If you looked at the big picture for my investments, this is where the majority of my investments are. This is my 401k. I keep 100% invested in the S&P 500. I love this strategy because it's very simple. You're not trying to beat the market. You're just going to get market returns by sitting back and buying something like VOO. This averages about 10% annually. At least this is what it's done historically. Of course, the individual stocks here are undoubtedly more interesting to discuss. And my top positions in the account are Kroger, Agri Realty, Chevron, United Health, and McDonald's. Pretty happy with that top 5. These are all about 4% of the account. Man, I'm already up 8.5% on that Mickey D's. Looks like I started getting into that one at the right time. We can also sort this by performance. Performance-wise, my top gains are from Broadcom, Aflac, and United Health. And we can see what's not been doing so well. My worst performing stocks are Next Era Energy, ticker NEE, AT&T, Chevron, Agri Realty, and Best Buy. But there's much more green in this portfolio at this time than red. In the end, this is accumulation time, so it's nice to see your money grow, but it's also nice to see discounts and deals because I'm still looking to add to all of these wonderful companies. All right, let's see how these holdings pay out on a calendar. This will give us an idea of what the month ahead will hold for dividends, and I expect December to be a record month. Right now, this account is projected to pay out over $84 in the month of December. It's going to depend on a few things like what's SCHD and VYM going to be paying out. The downside of those ETFs is it is a little less predictable. But as you can see, a ton of these holdings are going to pay out. They pay out on this March, June, September, December schedule. So these are this portfolio's big months. For reference, we did just shy of $60 in the month of September, 1 quarter ago. And I think it's reasonable to now project that March of 2024 will probably be our first triple-digit month for dividends where I'll get over $100. And I am stoked to be able to make that video here in a few months. And here is the performance tab where I kind of track how the account is doing. I keep tabs on the contributions. From that I can figure out how much did the account actually grow. After 3 straight months of drops, the account gained 5.27% in the month of November. That's over $830 in unrealized gains. It's the strongest month of the year for this account. And it's really cool to see the beginning of the year this account was just making over $100 for the year in dividends. And we're going to be closing out the year almost pushing that $600 in dividends. This is muy bueno. Here is a graph in the sheet that shows sector diversification. I am 25% in the ETFs, which is exactly my target, 12% in industrials, 9% in healthcare, consumer staples, consumer discretionary, and financials, all coming in around that 9%. We round things off with real estate, energy, information tech, communication, and utilities are lower at the bottom. I think this is a nice distribution. I feel well diversified. And for December, that final month of the year, I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing all along. And I look at 2 things when I decide to select my stocks. Where do I want to up my allocation and where do I see value? And I try to find the balance, the happy medium from that. And for my loyal viewers, I do apologize for the lack of content this last month. Life gets crazy between being single dad and working full-time. One thing I've been consistent on is making sure I continue to work on building up my passive income streams for my future. I do want to thank you all for helping me get past that 20,000 subscriber mark. I'm so humbled for that. It makes me so happy, and I'm so glad, and I can't wait to continue bringing more content for the years to come. One thing that will always matter to me more than being a good YouTuber, though, is being a good father. Sometimes things will get in the way. Thanks for sticking around, and until next time, keep investing.